As promised, Thursday's lesson, keep moving, keep fit. Here are just some things to think about. Why physical activity? Why do you think it makes sense to talk about food choices and physical activity at the same time? Because both the foods we eat and the activities we choose to do influence our health. What do you think is meant by calories in, calories out? Food gives us the nutrients we need and the energy to be active. And the more active we are, the more foods we can eat. We are going to watch the Get Moving video with our favorite characters. Pay particular attention to the activity choices of the 5 students as you watch the video.
Hey Gabe, why don't you tear yourself away from cyberspace for a minute? Come play one-on-one. I'll spot you 10 points, bud.
Well, okay, Mike. But I've only played in gym a couple of times.
Really? How come you don't play basketball a lot?
Well, I'm just not really good at sports, you know?
Well, you don't have to be on a team or anything. Just shoot hoops or skate like Drew. Coach says everyone our age should be doing something. Sweating feels good, man.
Yeah, you're probably right.
All right, let's go.
So how long do you think this is gonna take? I don't have much time because I have to go on my run before it gets too late. Gotta burn off all those calories I ate today.
Not long, but we should get going. Hey, you guys, let's start. Come on.
Okay. So how are we gonna do this? I mean, our community project is to help third graders design and plant a vegetable garden, right?
Right. So here's the deal. We're going to go over to their school on Friday, and we should decide what we're going to do to help them build the garden.
Well, maybe we could come up with a list of what they could plant.
Yeah, we could get them to plant vegetables that grow really fast, so then they can get excited about taking care of their garden. And then they can eat the stuff, you know?
Michael, if you don't stop dribbling that ball...
Sorry, guys. Hey, Gabe, do something with this for me, will you?
Sure thing.
Wow.
Like, what?
Helping young kids plant a school garden. Cool project, huh? Gardening is actually a great way to get a body moving. So why all the worry about staying active? Well, think about it this way. You eat food, which gives you energy, which allows you to be active and keep moving, which allows you to eat more food to get more energy and get the picture? The bottom line is that being healthy is not just about what you eat. Being active is another big part of being healthy because it's good for your heart, your muscles, and it uses the energy that you get from food. Good news is that we get to make decisions, or exercise our options, about how active we are every day. So how does someone know how active they have to be?
Well, health professionals recommend that middle school students get at least 60 minutes of moderate to hard activity every single day. Here are just a few examples.
The FIT formula that you'll learn about will teach you about activity choices like how often, how long, or how hard.
Let's face it, we can't all be athletes like Mike over there, Mr. Basketball. But check out Drew. He's also getting a great workout just by doing something he already loves to do, skateboarding. Sarah too. She's been taking dance classes ever since she was a young kid. Dance is a great way to get a body moving. Megan's a runner, so she certainly gets regular exercise. But is Megan running for the right reasons? She feels she needs to burn off every calorie she eats. However, she's missing out on how good exercise can help you feel. It's fun. And finally, there's Gabe. He sure was out of breath when he played the game with Mike because his body isn't used to working up a sweat. Let's face it, Gabe really needs to think about trading some of his intense sitting time for activities that require him to move. Remember how Gabe gets to school? He rides in a car, but he only lives a block from the school. I'm thinking he could walk in order to trade some of his inactive time for active time.
So remember, You can do more of what you're already doing, or you can add new activities you've always wanted to try. Maybe I'll give this a try.
From the Get Moving video, the plot: the students meet after school to discuss an upcoming community project, helping third graders design and build a garden at a local elementary school. Before everyone arrives, the students are engaged in various activities. Gabe is sedentary, which means he's sitting still until Mike invites him to play basketball. Drew skateboards, Sarah practices dance steps, and Megan stretches for an upcoming run. The expert summarizes the importance of physical activity. Being active is good for your heart, muscles, and it uses the energy you get from food. Middle school students should get at least 60 minutes of moderate to hard activity every day. We use the FIT formula, F-I-T-T, to determine how often, how long, how hard, and what type of physical choices we should make. Gabe needs to increase his physical activity by trading inactive time, for example, riding escalators, being driven to school, for active time, like taking the stairs or walking to school. Megan needs to learn how to balance her regular running with better food choices so that her body is well fueled. Right now, I want you to think of some of your favorite physical activities, so things that you like to do where you are active. And then think about how these activities keep you healthy. So one of my favorite things to do is walk or hike. And so those keep my heart healthy and they keep my muscles strong. It's also good for my mental outlook because I love to be outdoors. Makes me happy. The FIT principle. So FIT, F-I-T-T, the F stands for frequency. It's so how often do you do this activity? Every day, twice a week, only on the weekends? Intensity refers to how physically hard the activity is. That is, how much energy the activity requires. So for example, I am used to walking and hiking. So when I started the jump rope unit, that is much more intense. And so that required a lot more physical activity. Time refers to how long or how many minutes you do this activity. And the type refers to the kind of activity. So is it muscular strength? Is it cardiovascular? Or is it just stretching? They're all important. So to further the understanding of the FIT principle, strength is to improve your muscular strength by increasing the individual's ability to gradually resist more force. So this says example, lifting weights. And students your age don't usually lift weights. So things like push-ups, sit-ups, those kinds of things where you're using your body weight, pull-ups like you're on the bars, those kinds of things are examples of building strength. Cardio is to increase your heart rate by performing moderate to vigorous levels of intense activity. So like dancing really hard, running, jumping rope, those are good cardio. And stretching. So it's to extend your limbs and your body. So remember, there are a bunch of important aspects to stretching. So you need to make sure that you're also stretching. It's important to consider the intensity of these activities to determine if they are low, moderate, or vigorous. So you're supposed to get 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous activity every single day. So that's a full hour. So if you did 5 minutes and you did 5 minutes every hour the entire time you were awake, that would be 60 minutes. If you did 10 minutes and you only did it every other hour, so you would still get in 60 minutes. So you don't have to do the entire 60 minutes at once. You can break it up however you want to. So on page 19 of your workbook, it should be attached in your Google Classroom. You are going to list all the types of activity that you did. And then you are going to write down the intensity. So if it's low, it means you're not breathing hard, you're not sweating, you're not doing any of those things. If it's moderate, you're starting to breathe a little bit hard and you might start to sweat. And if it's vigorous, it means your heart's really pounding and you're really out of breath and you are having a hard time talking. So you are going to keep track of the type of activity, the intensity, and then the frequency and the time. So the frequency is the day, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the time is the length of time you did that. And I will show you an example of my chart. So here's my chart. My type of activity is jump rope. My intensity is vigorous. And my frequency, I've been practicing every single day for 30 minutes. Not continuous yet, but hopefully soon. I also walk every single day, and that is low to moderate. It just depends. Sometimes I walk and I'm walking to exercise, and sometimes I'm just walking like a stroll so I can get out and exercise. So you can see my type of activity, my intensity. I do something every single day, and you can see the time that I spend on it every single day. I also have an Apple Watch that helps me keep track of my fitness. Some of you have other kinds of tracking devices too, so those are really, really helpful if you have that available to you. Now you are going to take a look at page 20 of your workbook. Describe what you could do and then what you realistically do. So your decisions are unique to you, and it's up to you to carry out your decisions. So no one's going to be checking on you. So at the top in the blue, where the soccer ball and the bike and the basketball are, on your activity record, circle the total for any days that are under 60 minutes. That is, the days you got less than 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous activity. Then answer the questions below. Do I get at least 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous activity every day? Yes or no? And if not, on which days do I need more activity, and how much do I need? So you can write down the day and the time. So like on Mondays, if you only get in 15 minutes, then you need 45 more minutes. So now we're in the middle box. Just as you have options with your food choices, you also have options with your activity. So you can pick different activities that you do. So the example says, I could rollerblade instead of playing video games. When I get home from school. And those are decisions that you're going to need to make with your parents. And at the bottom, the options I chose. You know what you could do. Now what are you really going to do? From the options you listed above, set 1 or 2 goals on how you will be more active. So like I told you, I have an Apple Watch, and all the TOSAs are in a fitness challenge along with some other teachers and administrators. And so I promised to my group that I would close my rings every single day. So that means that I exercise for at least 30 minutes and that my watch shows that I burn over 600 calories every day. So that is my goal, and that's what I have chosen to do. Your goal could be something completely different. So here are some ideas or some things for you to think about from the fit experts. So basketball, listening to music, walking the dog, jazz dance classes, swimming, and playing video games. So what kind of activity is it? Is it cardio, strength, stretching, and flexibility? What's your activity level? Low, moderate, vigorous? If it's low level, what activity could you trade up for to increase your activity? Describe when you would do this more intense activity and for how long. And does this single activity meet your daily requirements? If not, how much more moderate to vigorous physical activity do you need? So you're not going to do a report like it says at the bottom. You are just going to really think about it and try and make some conscientious choices to be active for 60 minutes every single day, even if you have to break it up into 5-minute increments. All right. Tomorrow we will be discussing overcoming obstacles.